If you're in the market looking for new tattoo needles, or maybe you're just sick of the current tattoo needle brand that you're using, well, today's video is a product spotlight video, and I'm going to be talking about T&T Needles. Trust at the first touch. T&T Needles are a new and up-and-coming company. Now, I got these. These are the All needles. They have two different types of needles. This is the All line. What do I know about the company? Well, I know that it's a father-daughter team, and they're based out of the United States, I believe California. They've handcrafted some needle cartridges that are pretty unique, and I'm going to talk about the things I love about them. And there is one thing for me personally that's a little bit of a con, and I'll talk about that later in the video. My name's Ryan. Let's talk about this needle box for a second. The box and packaging is really good. It's very simple. I love the font and everything about it. When you open it up, it has a little slide drawer. Very easy, very well laid out. They're clear needle cartridges, so you can see the ink flow in there. You can see if there was any backsplash that got up in the tube, but I had absolutely no issues with these. Now let's talk about the unique features of the T&T All needle line. First of all, the number one thing that I personally notice is the ink reservoir system. It's definitely different. These needles seem like they hold way more ink to me. They have a special pen-like system at the tip of the cartridge, and you know what? It delivers ink very smoothly. This is a very smooth needle, and honestly, I noticed it right from the start. It delivers ink evenly, smoothly, very cleanly, but there's a feature about this ink reservoir that I think is a little bit minor that maybe no one's talking about or noticed. Normal traditional needle cartridges, especially like a round shader, when you have it filled with ink and you want to change colors and you have it in your rinse cup, I feel like it takes absolutely forever for that ink and water to drain out. With this system, with this needle reservoir, the water and old ink washes out super quickly. And I know it's minute, but for me personally, that means I can mix colors and rinse out my needle cartridges super quickly, super efficiently, and honestly, it works very well. Now, the second thing about these needles, it has a unique membrane design. Now, it creates a downward force, and it actually brings stability to your needles, and it really prevents them from wobbling, and it keeps the needles really just flush against the bottom of the cartridge, and that's definitely what you want. And you know what? I've been testing them every day, and honestly, the ink, the extra ink reservoir is a game changer for me personally. It just speeds up me mixing different colors and rinsing the cap out. It drains the water super quickly. These needles, the stability is amazing, and the smoothness is really good. The price point on these needles are also really good. I would say it's very competitive with most mass cartridge needle brands out there on the market, maybe even a little bit cheaper. I have seen them on sale a few times. Now, there is one slight con, and this is a very minute. I had to really nitpick these needles to find a con for me personally. I only really noticed this with the round shaders. Now, for the way that I tattoo personally, I hold my needle throw out very far, almost max. Now, I feel like the plunger bar in these needles were a little bit short, and I only noticed it in maybe the liners, but mostly the round shaders, where I would have liked to have the plunger bar just a little bit longer so I could have my throw a little bit longer. Another thing that I've noticed about these needles, now I don't know if this is a con, to me it's not a con, but the tension on the membrane, the tension on the needle bar is definitely one of the higher tension needles that I've used. It definitely has some give, which means that you might have to run your machines a little bit harder to drive these needles. I ran at my normal 9 voltage, 8.5 to 9 volts is what I run at for all my tattoos, and I absolutely had no issues pushing these needles. So like I said earlier, if you're in the market for a new needle brand, if you're sick of the needles you're using, you're just looking for a different brand altogether, definitely check out these T&T needles. I'm going to leave a link down below so you can check them out. I believe they have sample sets too, which is pretty awesome. I would say one of the main advantages of having needles that you're comfortable with or that work well is it just speeds up the tattoo process. Having solid needles that are nice and sharp, and these needles were very sharp. Usually while I'm tattooing, I switch my mags needles out every 4 hours for a sharp one. These didn't seem to dull at all, but it speeds the process up. It speeds my workflow up. The reservoir tip is absolutely amazing, and I wish all needle cartridges had that because it made rinsing them out just a complete breeze. All